thank you for joining us this afternoon, Olivier Pairoux. We are delighted to have you, the director and co-writer of SPACEBOY, that is screening on the Cinemagic Festival Player over the next number of weeks. So, as the director, Olivier, how did you become attached to the film, and how did it get going? Like, how did you get attached to being the director of this really special movie?
Well, first of all, it's always come from something. It comes from a sparkle. It comes from an idea, an image. And in this case, for SPACEBOY, it was a video, a clip from the band Boards of Canada. And they were using footages from Joseph Kittinger, who in 1960 decided to go on a giant balloon almost into space before jumping into the void and coming back safely on Earth. And when I saw those images in the music video from Boards of Canada, I was totally amazed. I thought, first of all, is it real? Is it CGI? Or, maybe it's not, it's just fake. And then I checked and I found completely in love with the story of that guy who pushed his limit, and we see that a lot in the space adventure and there are so many lately. We see people pushing their limits, trying to become better and better, but at the same time having this little idea of being crazy, daring to do things, being very bold. And I just thought, what if a little boy was trying to do the same? And that was the starting point.
Well, it is an incredible story and brought to life so well. How did you go about ensuring, I suppose, that first of all, the cast were so brilliantly cast? Was that like a big challenge for you, just getting the very right people for the roles? Because you can see that on screen. The interaction and the acting is just so natural, and you don't even think you're looking at actors. It just is such a wonderfully put together cast. How important was that for you, just to get the right people on board for the film to be as as successful as it is in terms of the casting?
Well, first of all, you quickly understand that the cornerstone of that project is the kids. You need to have very talented kids that can act really naturally, that can really hold the whole story. So it's indeed the most important item that the director needs in his bag, that's for sure. So first of all, you need to do a lot of casting. You need to meet a lot of kids. We saw, I think, almost 100 of them just to pick up the four main roles. So it took us quite a long time, and but when we met Basil, who plays Jim, and Alban, who plays Emma, we had a very strong connection, because we're looking for kids that can handle a lot of emotion, different emotion. You saw the movie, there is a lot of actions, there is some drama, there is some love, there is some all kind of different emotions to play. So we needed kids that could be very wild in their emotional approach. We needed also kids that could live together for 6 weeks, because it's quite an adventure also outside the set. And I always pay very attention to that, to the crew, to the people I'm working with, and also with the actors. I really want to build like a family when everybody feels really well together, because it's a long journey. And I always felt that 50% of what you see on screen happens behind the camera. It's just like this nice feeling that just go in front of it. So I think it's very important to have found those kids, and they were amazingly brilliant. And after that, yeah, it was just a question of work and how to manage them on the set, of course.
Well, then, with managing them on the set and off the set, I'm sure you had a lot of fun over those 6 weeks. What would you say were some of the standout things, really even as a learning process for you, but also some of the fun things that happened over the course of the production?
Well, I think that the most fun part of that movie is that there are a lot of different things in that movie. And, I really like the Walt Disney saying. He said, yeah, a tear for a laugh, and you need to always balance that. And I really like that saying, and I really wanted to have like those deep moments and fun moments. But what was really cool about the shooting is that every day was different. We were sometimes we're in front of a green screen, sometimes jumping in the mud, sometimes jumping in a swimming pool, sometimes jumping out of a roof, sometimes just being two actors together trying to build a very strong emotional connection for a scene. So every time it was different. And I think that this variety made like the trip very fun. Like you go on holiday, you do all kind of different things, and every day is fun in a different way. And I think that was part of the success of the shooting and then of the movie, I think.
Absolutely, and you can really tell, just as you mentioned, you know, the crew and the behind the scenes dynamic and the passion involved, and you can tell just from you chatting about the movie how that comes through across, you know, comes through on screen. And like visually, it looks absolutely stunning, and the cinematography is just so perfect, and the colorings and everything. And how much, you know, how much of a role did you have in that, in terms of, you know, getting your vision then to come across the way it does, just I suppose in relation to the cinematography and the person that would have looked after that?
Yeah, well, it depends, of course. For every director, it can be different. In my opinion, I think that every people I'm working with are better than me in their field. So when I'm talking with my friend Thomas, the cinematographer, or when I'm talking with Lenny, my friend from the sound, or the Penelopes who made the music and stuff like that, I know that in their area, in their field, they are better than me. But on the other hand, I know that they trust me enough to know also that I've got a very clear idea where everything needs to be put together. And I think that this idea of collaboration is very important. You need to be surrounded by people who trust your judgment, who you can have like argument with, but at the end, it's always okay. And if you can manage to deal with a lot of people in a lot of different areas like that, and manage to keep everything together, but also giving them your trust and say, do also what you like, what you feel is right. Because if I choose you, it's because of that, you know? Look, I'm going to show you an example. Wait, look. When I asked, look, this is Cosmo from the movie. Yeah, you say hello.
Hello, Cosmo.
Hello. I'm just going to tell you this story like that you're going to understand well. When I asked my friend Stéphane Halleux, who designed those kind of things and who made, by the way, an amazing short movie who won an Oscar in 2014. When I asked my friend Stéphane Halleux to make this robot, seriously, I really wanted to have this that opened on top like that. I don't know why I had this vision. And then he proposed me this, something that opened on the side. And then for 24 hours, and he said, do you like it? And for 24 hours, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the thing to go on the top, not on the side. And then after 24 hours, I thought, but if I asked Stéphane, it's also because that's the kind of guy who's going to propose me that, and not the common idea that I had. So I called Stéphane and I said, I love it. Let's do this. So you see, you need also to listen to the people you're working with, and sometimes just take time to also remember why you choose them. And that's the combination of all those decisions that at the end make the decision that everybody agreed on and can move on.
Absolutely, and that's so important as well, as you say, just about collaborating and the importance of taking on board everybody's opinions, and with the film just being, you know, involving so many different, in terms of the cast, you know, different age groups and different demographics, you can just really get that across, that it was such a great sort of collaboration of roles and characters. And then, you know, just with an overall message, what would you like audiences to take away from the movie? You know, whether you are 10 or 12-year-old young person, or whether you're like a parent or an older member of the family, what key message do you think is important to take from the movie?
That's a very sweet question. I think that because it's a very important one. And what is very funny about the question you are asking is that it's beyond the movie. In fact, when I was working on that movie, writing the story for many, many years, going through many different up and downs, finding a producer, losing it, finding another one, you know, the whole process takes a lot of time when it's your first feature, and it can be hard. And I don't know, on the way, sometimes I was looking at my kids because I've got a 10 and a 6-year-old boys. And I was looking at them and I was thinking, I'm taking so much time to do my project, to achieve my dream, to make that movie, that I'm maybe not spending enough time with them. I should be playing with them instead of being behind my computer and trying to write every day and every night and stuff. And it's a little bit the message of the movie. It's to find the balance between pursuing your dreams, but also taking in consideration the people around you. And I think it's a lie and a mistake, but it's just my personal opinion as a dad, to say to your kids that they're going to be able to do whatever they want in their life. That's not true. If one day one of my sons, for example, become a dad, I hope that he will not do whatever he wants. He will take care of his kid. He will take care of his wife. He will, whatever he does, I want him also to consider the others and not be selfish. And I think that's exactly what Jim understands in the movie, that he really wants to achieve something for him. There is no limit into that. And then he understands with his dad and with Emma that, yeah, sometimes you need to slow down.
Absolutely. Well, the story is just brilliant. It's so endearing. It's heartwarming. You know, there's lots of drama. There's lots of adventure. It has such a universal appeal for so many age groups, I think. And we wish you all the success with it. And we are just so delighted to have it screening at Cinemagic. I think it's a really special movie. And we're delighted that you could give us a little insight to it today. So thank you so much for your time.
Thanks to you. I'm very honored to be part of your festival, and it's great to have that kind of nice words. It has been a very tough year, not for us, only for everybody. And the release was very complicated, and the fact that we can finally have those kind of feedbacks, it's very, very important. You have no idea how great it feels. So thanks a lot to you, and thanks to everybody in Dublin.
Jim, ça va bien se passer.
Et pour l'école?
Tu veux en avoir une autre?
Je m'appelle James Eugène Goldman, mais vous pouvez m'appeler Jim.
Notre chère Emma, après quelques mois d'absence, elle nous revient en pleine forme pour le dernier trimestre de l'année.
Chaque année, l'école organise un concours scientifique. Comme vous êtes tous les deux tout seuls, je me suis dit que peut-être vous pourriez vous mettre ensemble. Cette réunion est top secrète. Stand-by. Donc Emma, pour le concours, on va faire le ballon Excelsior de Kittinger.
Faut pas faire un truc pareil.
Bah si, mon père, il m'a tout appris. C'est un astrophysicien. Il va aller dans l'espace.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Projet nul, impossible à faire.
Vous faites quoi alors? Une montgolfière.
Est-ce que tu crois que tu vas nous battre avec ton truc?
C'est quoi ton problème alors?
Je comprends juste rien.
Je veux plus que tu traînes avec lui. Tu es malade, Emma.
Et c'est de ma faute peut-être?
Sans votre fils, jamais Emma n'aurait fait ça.
Regardez! Oh, Dieu, il a fait.
Tu sais quoi? Tu vas y aller?
Moi?
Comme ça, tu pourras analyser ta trajectoire. Oh!